Hello and welcome, friends, to a special edition of some limited magic today. We've got a qualifier play-in. The stars have aligned, and we finally have a sealed qualifier weekend. Basically, what this means is a while ago, I forget how long, I earned some play-in points, which was enough to get me a free entry to this event. Which, if nothing else, if I don't do anything else and I just win some gems, I'm perfectly happy. But if I manage to make it to 6 wins, I earn a qualifier weekend entry. Excuse me. That entry, which is the following weekend, so a week from today, which is the 6th, there will be a tournament that will, if I do well in that one, which again highly unlikely, but we live for the fun of the competition. If nothing else, if we do well in that tournament, then we qualify for the Arena Championships. And thinking back to younger Matt, I'm like, I will be enthused to do well competitively again. I one time in the one Grand Prix that I went to, I made it to day two, and that was a lot of fun. And I have been chasing that high ever since. No, I mean not really, but basically, this event seems super fun. It is sealed of Avatar, and I've been playing a lot of that. I did a lot of that last weekend for the Arena Direct. I managed to win one box in about 7 attempts. I had kind of like a middle result a couple times, a couple scrubs. So on that venture, I did end up in the green, not by as much as I would have liked, but I still think it was a good end, especially considering how expensive that event is. This one, on the contrary, is absolutely free on the first shot. And if I do poorly, I might take a second, turn some gold into some gems. Kind of depends on my mood and if I have time. But yeah, so without further ado, without any further gilding the lily, let's jump right in. And we are opening these packs. We'll build a 60 card or a 40 card deck with, I mean, just eyeballing it: Azula, Mechanist, Rise of Sozin, Unagi. The sealed pool is like 3 times stronger than anything I think I got last weekend. So happy with where this starts. Now it just depends on the value of our comments. That's a lot of white cards, first of all. Just eyeballing it, that's very few blue cards. Black cards, there's a couple, but I don't know. Guess it's okay. Fire red has got the lesson, the strike, cave, and then we've got some four green cards. Count it: one, two, three, and four. That is actually kind of hilarious. For fixing, we've got some of these lands. Nothing jumps out too much. Aang's Journey does get out of here. Does a decent amount. What else? I mean, I guess technically the merchant, but I would not probably do that. But I'll put it in there just for awareness. Yeah, this pool, I mean, just eyeballing it. Obviously, we've got a very strong set of black and blue cards. But I don't know if we have enough to make a deck out of. Remains to be seen. But, I mean, just taking a look, Unagi is fantastic, of course. Flash 5/5, ambush a creature. Maybe if they crack a clue, you flash this in, you draw 2 cards extra. That's really good. Watery Grasp, very solid. Like, all of our blue is certainly very playable. The Leaper, probably the weakest of the bunch, but, in sealed, this kind of a card does go up in value. Now, looking at our black, I mean, I do enjoy Azula Always Lies in a deck that's like tempo-y, really wants combat steps and stuff like that. This deck probably not a good advocate if we're gonna go for like blue-black. This Daily Indoctrination I don't think is particularly strong, but I think its value does go up in sealed. June Merchant, that's a nice little combo right there. Basically, June lets you sack things to make clues to draw cards so it can't be blocked. And Merchant Many Hats allows you to sack it as many times as you want. I mean, obviously that's very expensive, but technically, that is a little 2 card combo. And sealed, I think, is about finding those sorts of value that maybe other people would overlook. Fire Nation Engineer, I found this card to be good. Yeah, nothing like too crazy, but it's very solid. This is 2 of our rares, so does it go up in value? I mean, if they milled something, maybe sure. Okay, every time I read this card, I just don't think it gets any better. They don't get haste. The tokens do not get haste. If that was the case, I could maybe see it in a very like a heavy deck, but I digress. The Hog Monkey, not something that I think is particularly strong, but you know, going 2 colors with a couple medium bangers like this could be fine. You know, 3 mana threat that kind of does need to be answered eventually. It just is kind of slow. This thing, 3 mana -2/-2. If I'm kind of a more slow deck, then that could probably go up in value. Give everything -2/-2. Kill a bunch of the ally cards. Could be enjoyable. Swamp Bender, it's fine. Sold Out's very good. Happy to play that one. Fire Nation Drill. This is a nice little kill spell. Doesn't kill everything, but I mean, on the flip side, it's a 6/3 trample. Pretty good. Double Carrion Crawler and Rise of Sozin. This card's just insane. There's literally nothing wrong with this card. Oftentimes I've been naming like the common lesson of that color. Like if I'm playing against an ally's opponent, I'll name like Airbending Lesson possibly. And usually people are playing like 1 or 2 of those. But the second mode is really not. It's kind of the information that I think is the most powerful that you get for that second saga, because you just get to look at their hand. What else? And when obviously he flips, he's really good too. Obviously this card is front loaded with power, but I mean if he ever gets a chance to attack, the game kind of is just over. But I mean it probably usually is over after the first tick anyway. Not always, but yeah. The red actually has some good stuff, like Firebending Lesson's great. The Fire Sages probably goes up in value. I've not loved this card. I was really high on it initially, then that kind of collapsed. It's not an ally, so that does go down and limit the decks that it wants to be in. But also, it's kind of just slow at what it does. It doesn't really, like, the answers in this format are good enough such that it's not a priority to level this guy up. Like, what if they just airbend it after you put 3 counters on it? What if they watery grasp it? What if they pacifism it with the Path to Redemption or whatever? Just a lot not to like. Lightning Strike, certainly a good card. Zhong Zhong, the Deserter, totally solid playable. Though it doesn't look like we have a ton of lessons for this guy to really pop off, but you could do worse, I guess. Treetop Fighters is a nice little one in an aggro deck, not really what we're looking to do. Cave of Two Lovers, make some 1/1s, search for a mountain, and then Earthbend. All stuff that you like. None of it that's, I think, overly powered or tuned on any turn, but it's all, you get, I think, enough. 4 mana for 5 power and a land. This guy, not bad. Fire Nation Attack, solid little card. You know, you get 5 mana for 2 2/2s, and then you get that again for 9 mana, which if you play 5 land, or on the 5th land, you play this. Following turn, you play a land, you attack. That's 6, step to 8. Actually, that's not enough, so you need 1 extra. Why do I always think that they could do that right away? I don't know. All I know is I've lost this card enough that I'm bitter. The Cavalry, not very good, but again, similar reason why some of these like medium threats just go up in value a little bit is if they have to be answered, then, you know, that could be fine. It's just hilarious. We have 4 green cards. Azula is obviously fantastic, and double Hama is nothing to snooze at either. So that might be what we're doing kind of in a vacuum. Double Azula, double Hama, which is fantastic. Does rely on them having a good deck for this card to be good, but if they have a bad deck, then you're also not very unhappy about it. If it's very creature focused, though, that is a thing that this is a weakness on, though those decks do tend to have a bit here or there of interaction or combat tricks or something like that. Attachments, Professor Zay, decent little bits of value. The Vindictive Warden, I guess we could play that. And I guess this Warship could be fine if we're talking that route. I don't like Zuko Conflicted at all. I guess if you were, I think specifically in a black-red kind of aggro deck, this card does go up in value, of course, but I don't think it's enough to justify. Then I hope I don't have to play double Zuko's Exile. This card is, I mean, it's a catch-all. It hits all the permanent types that you want to deal with, except for land. Because there are a few lands that you need to deal with, like Bossing Say type stuff, which allows you to just Earthbend turn after turn after turn. So this doesn't hit that, but it does hit the creature that it does Earthbend. So giving them a clue is like 2 for 1ing yourself, so you're not happy to play that. Double Iroh is kind of spicy, but double Iroh, double Jailer, or Kingdom Soldier, sorry. Yeah. Looking at the white though, this is what I wanted to say for last because there might be something here with white and something other color. Like we have Momo, which is I think is this is the good Momo. I think in general, the rare one is a little less good. We have the healer, it's fine 2-drop. This is the path to redemption, that passivism I was talking about. Because eventually later you can just get a 1/1 out of the deal. Now sometimes they can flicker their creatures, so you have to be a little careful and not sit on this forever. But I think it's a decent effect. The Rallier is quite good. The Razor Ring's also decent little combat trick. But the Rallier is really nice. If you have a lot of power 3 or less things, then it goes up in value. And the nice thing is a lot of the allies do have 3 or less power. So it does go really well in that deck. Lesson's just a fine value card. The Jailer also really solid. Fancy Footwork, a lot to like about that. Glider Kids, I found this card to be incredibly annoying. I feel like one draft I had like 2 or 3 drafts in a row where it was like turn whatever, and then Glider Kids, Glider Kids, Glider Kids, and that was like 2 or 3 games in a row, and I'm just like, that's crazy. Team Avatar, I find this card to be lacking a little bit, but it's good. The Water Tribe Rally or Captain lets you anthem your team, which usually you have lots of things to do with your mana, but this is not a bad way to spend it. Sandbender Storm I find to be probably goes up in value a little bit in sealed, but still a little underwhelming. But I would certainly play it if I was a little lacking in removal. It's niche because it can't hit everything. Sometimes they're going to play like, I don't know. You could think of an example or two. It's just like the Mechanist. Like it can't kill this guy. The Southern Air Temple lets you put counters on your creatures. It's kind of awkward in how it interacts with the other temples. Like you want a board state to have this one work, and the other ones don't really play along with that as nicely because they don't make creatures except for the red one. But even that one only makes one dude, which is kind of weak for what the cost is and all that stuff. I digress. The Vengeful Villagers, not really something that I'm excited to play. Maybe like in a white black list. And then Gather the White Lotus, very solid little card. So there might be some aggro list here that I'm not seeing. I mean, Tools of War, which is a nice little card, but just one of those. I mean, I don't necessarily hate it. I might put it together to see what we get. We do have one white black land. We have, and that's I think another big thing with sealed is to kind of look at what your lands are dictating. Like we have 3 Jund lands. Like that's not irrelevant, and 2 uh, Esper lands. So not a 0. And then we have one that's kind of a catch-all. It's not the best in any of the metrics, but yeah. I mean, just eyeballing it, looking through the cards. I want to put together like a blue-black control list, see if we have enough cards, and if we don't, then maybe try to splash red, maybe black-red, because we just have very few blue cards. So if I was going to pair with another color with black, maybe it's black-red, and we try to sneak in Zuko. But even that, saying that out loud doesn't seem strong. Yeah, I think our red is just relegated to fire, bending lesson, lightning strike. If I was to play it, which I don't think the answer to that is yes. So then, what is it? Black white, black blue whites, splashing with Rumble Arena. These 3 things. That might not be a 0. All right. I think I've discussed it enough. I've thought about my card pool. You know, it seems fairly strong. It's a little spread out. So we'll see if we can't come together with a coherent game plan. But yeah, I'll build this real quick, see what we get. All right, so I think this is close to the deck. I mean, I'll just throw some lands in there. I think that I don't want to play any of those. And 8/7 seems acceptable. Yeah, it's close regardless. Just looking at how things shook out, I mean, our removal is okay. It's nothing too crazy. We have some value out of our non-creature spells, and Mechanist would probably have to go a long way with that, with just very few. We're kind of gluttoned on 5-drops with Double Hama, Azula, Unagi. Like, those are all good on their own. And then we have obviously, like, the Canyon Crawlers, which I would probably say one is probably going to be like a cycler, and then one would probably be cast more often than not. So that leaves the position of just not, I think, enough 2-drops to be like happy about it. Professor Zay probably is like a 3 or a 4-drop in the deck. If you think about how many lands you have to play to hit double blue. We can get to cheat just a little bit because we do have this Black Rock Prison, which is a swamp that lets us cast Professor Zay. So gotta look out for those types of effects. So I think we'd probably just cut the Geyser Leaper, number 2. And I'm not actually excited about the first one. Maybe I should play the Ruinous Waterbending instead. Yeah, I think I actually like that. I think I want the double Hama. Might be awkward. I think I want it over the Indoctrination. I just don't think I want a medium 4-drop with very few. I mean, I have the Professor, I have June, and then I guess sort of Mechanist, but none of those particularly scream, you know, like you're going to be able to draw more than a card or two per game. But maybe that's not true. Maybe something like that to gain life is relevant enough to consider. I think our removal is enough to not want to consider anything else. So I think I will play the Swamp Hunters over the Hog Monkey. I just don't think this will end up being like the blocker that I would need it to be necessarily. It's 8 mana total on played on 3, then play something else on 4, and then on 5 make it a 5/4. That's just underwhelming. And when in direct comparison with the Swamp Hunters, I think that is the better route. So this is the deck that I think I would pick up. I could consider playing the Platypus Bears as more early 2-drops, but without anything to really synergize with, don't think that it ends up being strong enough to want to consider playing here. And we're already playing kind of light in the creature department, and I don't want to stretch that anymore. Anyways, yeah, I think this is all right. I'm going to put together the aggressive list, and I'll catch you guys back in a little bit. Okay, this is kind of the deck that I picked up, or at least sort of built. I mean, I guess maybe I would play these things too. Yeah, so that's what we're leaving behind. I don't think I'm sad about that necessarily, but these technically could be something else. So the things that I like about this, is like Path to Redemption. I kind of like Razor Rings. Like the removal on this side of it looks like a lot fancier, if you will. Like we still have the same sold out, the Fire Nation Drill, and then I guess the Sandbending Storm Sozin. Like this is a lot of it. Probably wouldn't be playing this. Probably not playing the Dai Li. Like the removal feels like it could be a lot more powerful. Now the things that it's weak on though, let's take a look. This is like trying to splash Azula with the North Pole Gates, the white-black dual, King's Journey for a land. Probably just play an extra swamp for that. So that doesn't look horrendous, but certainly it has that vulnerability. But Azula, I would say, is worth splashing. She's a very disgusting card. Like, wow. So this has us at 46 cards, and it's got 17 and 12 with a curve. That's a little 5 heavy again. 5-6 heavy, but I don't think that's the end of the world. So that's taking out 2 creatures right away. Brings us down to 15 creatures. So now it's, what do we cut from here? Well, I think the Azula game plan is maybe not worth playing. What I could do potentially is I could play this Southern Air Temple, and then this Aang's Journey now gets the Southern Air Temple. Is that better than the Storm / the Footwork? I don't know. That remains to be seen. How many things does the Water Tribe Rallier get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 of my 15 creatures. That's pretty good. That's honestly really good. It misses on my crawlers and my Azula, which, that's okay. I don't hate this. I think the rings goes a long way, but the fancy footwork maybe doesn't. Team Avatar in a deck with a lot of like little guys does go up in value. The sold out, the Fire Nation Drill, all decent enough. Bits and baubles. The weaker things are like the temple, the journey. Is 3 enough to play Azula? How else could I scry? I mean, I guess Momo lets me scry. Getting the land for like the Rise of Sozin, like ramping, quote unquote. Like not exactly ramping, but you know, maybe I wouldn't play both crawlers for the reasons already kind of laid out. Like I think our earlier stuff would be decent. Now the question is going to be, is this better or worse? Basically, we're trading out like Unagi, the Mechanist Teo, for Tolls of War, Double Path to Redemption, Team Avatar, and then like a little value with the Southern Air Temple. Is that good enough? Is that worth it? I don't think so. Let's discard these changes. Look at our original deck list again. And see if there's anything else I could do. Is there any value in splashing white? Because, I mean, from here, basically we just put these two in. We throw planes and we've got a white splash. Like, take out one island, we take out one swamp. And now we are at parity. We could play a white card if we wanted. Problem is, what do we play? Southern Air Temple? No. The Earth Kingdom Jailer, the Past, the Redemption, Team Avatar, maybe? Those I could potentially see. But I don't think that that is a strong enough or a compelling enough case to do so. So, all of that said, we've considered our options. We've played around with a couple different varieties of the deck. I don't think that there's an aggro list in here. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And it's like maybe white-red aggro could work fine, but we're playing very few rares. And when we have cards of this power level, I think we owe it to ourselves a little bit to try to make the stronger deck work. Should this Aang's Journey be something else? Maybe. What else would it be? Fire Nation Warship? Counts as a creature, sort of. But not really. Vindictive Warden, possibly? Yeah, I think we maybe play the Vindictive Warden over a Crawler, number 2. I just want one more thing on the early side, and I know I can Swamp Cycle it, but I think I just want to minimize the dependency on cycling it. And I think in Sealed, something like the Warden here has the opportunity to get a bit of extra damage in, which may be what we need, maybe not. I think most importantly, it survives the waterbending. I don't think I would play it. That's also another reason why I wanted to cut the Hog Monkey. So, is there anything else I'd want to do here? I don't know. Maybe the second Crawler is better than the second Hama, just from like that perspective. But yeah, no, I think this is fine. I think our deck ended up just solid. Like, we got a lot of good cards. Hopefully we can deploy them in time to defeat our opponents. Anyways, I'll see you all back for the first game. I might not be narrating my gameplay as much. Again, this is expensive. It's not really expensive this time, but technically there's a lot on the line here, so I'm going to prioritize winning over narrating. Got a Scry. It's got a good 3/4. Got a good removal spell. 4 mana, so I need... If I draw nothing else, this hand does what it does. It just might not. It just might need something early. Aang's Journey. I don't think that's what we want. We are looking for a 2-drop. We don't have a ton of those, but... I definitely should have played... Well... Okay, well, I'm fairly certain this Fire Nation Engineer is not long for this world, but... if it is, great. 4 lands. So we're kind of flooded here a little bit. They've got a trick of some kind. Yeah, I should just go into full control mode for today. I'm tapped out. There's nothing I can full control. I mean, if Teo survives, we might be okay. If they just play like a jet here. Okay. Maybe they've got something like a yip yip +2/+2 gains flying if it's an ally. So I think what I want to do here is hold up. Sold out. Fire bending lesson. Yeah, fair enough. So that explains the priority that they got. They have 4 cards. Foxbear is not a major concern. I will want to deal with that. No, land is not does not a winning game make. The question is, do I just Fire Nation drill? Do I hold up for anything else? I think the answer here is we just go swamp or island. I already have double blue out. I have double black. It doesn't matter particularly much. And then when this enters, tap it to destroy a creature with power 4 or less. It's fine. I will take the action. We will destroy the Wandering Musician. Okay. I'm not interested in trading creatures here. I'll take 5. Mongoose Lizard, okay. So I could have eaten the Fire Nation Engineer, but then they would have eaten... Can't say I'm thrilled by the possibility, but... They might just want to trade this. And I don't think I want to be able to give them that option. Okay. Now I would block the Poxbear, since they've shown me the trick they were playing with. Firebending Student. 1/2 prowess. Firebending X, where X is its power. Interesting. Azula. So I get a Poxbear or a Firebending Student and the Wandering Musician. In either case, I'm content. We Azula for sure. Target opponent. I think I will target you. We got there. Yeah. I was going to, at worst, get a firebending lesson or a wandering. Like, both of these would have been great against this board, and I was going to get one of these three things. Like, for a white-red aggro deck, this is exactly where you want to be. And then after this, depending on what they sacrifice, or exile rather, so the Poxbear does not trigger, I can attack for enough damage, so they would have to give me the Firebending Student, which, you know, granted, it's not the strongest card, but it's just like, they do all of this, they block, they double block, and they still take, like, a lot of damage, then, you know, the Fire Nation Engineer gets to kind of pop off a little bit, so all in all, obviously, this is why we're playing Azula. You can see that that is indeed a good card. All right, so we've already gone from 500 gems to 1,000. Let's try to play for another 500, shall we? All right. This hand, I mean, it does have the Fire Nation Drill and a sold out, so if I draw a swamp, this hand opens up, but I feel like it would need 2 swamps to really do much of anything. And if it draws nothing, I do nothing. This hand, on the other hand, does a lot. And it does a lot with only 2 mana. We'll play the island here first to be able to play Professor Zay if we draw a mountain, or rather another island. Ah, they've got a firebending lesson. What you know about? I think we do this. Oh, wow. They've got mountain. Shared Root, so if they're off forest, they can Roku the following turn. I think I can beat any of these other cards. The question is, can I beat Roku? I don't think I want to find out. A couple options. I can Swamp Cycle, I can get back. I have, for their hand, I have an answer for the Swarm, for the Combustion Man. They're at just 2 mana. I think I'm content to just do this. If I miss on lands, I'm kind of okay with that too. That's a pretty good draw. Well, we got our value out of it, so we'll take that as a win. Okay, well now we'll just happily Swamp Cycle. And play a June. They've got the Firebending lesson, but I think that's okay. Let's get that out of their hand before they can use it on a Nagi. So they clearly get an island here. And I will block. They let me. Okay. Well, they're aggressively getting the creatures out from my hand. We've got a couple threats that we need to be prepared to deal with, and I think a 3/4 defense is totally what the doctor ordered. Yeah, Seismic Sense is a good card. They get the forest, so that way they can still play the Swarm. That is a good one. Because I cannot sell it out. They've got access to a Haster, this big bad boy. Captive. So if I attack, my guess is they would double creature and attack me. I don't think that's something that I want to do. Yeah, I think we just chill this turn. Plan on killing the Combustion Man if that's what they play. Certainly I'll block the Cadet. Don't love taking all that damage, but, yeah. Do that, discard some cards. Alright. And now we don't really have any reason to discard or anything like that, so we'll see if they play out their creatures here. Try to engage them to do so. Nice. We need to 11. Now we get to Rise of Sozin. They get to draw a card off the Dragonfly Swarm, but that's obviously okay. Firebending Lesson? What are the odds they have a second one? Shared Discovery? I think if they had it, they would draw it. They'd have cast it this turn, so let's go with Firebending Lesson. Iroh, Grand Lotus. Wan Shitong, huh? So we get the Hama. They have to do this kind of in response. It's a pretty good one. It's kind of stone cold nothing here. So Iroh's Demonstration doesn't do the trick. I have... What else in my deck? I've used my Sold Out. I have Fire Nation Drill that doesn't kill it. I have Ruinous Waterbending plus that or something. What am I looking to hit here, though, is the thing. I guess Lost. I have some time to think about this. I've used my Sold Out. Lost Days is maybe my best answer for this at the moment. And if that's the case, then this Seismic Sense doesn't particularly do anything. Would Roku do anything? Or is he too slow? I guess Roku demonstrates a possibility. Do that next turn. Cabbage Merchant, of course. Well, I named one good blue mythic, but unfortunately couldn't draw them all. I think that is correct. I could still hit Lost Days here. And that we did. Until the end of your next turn. So I have them available for now. They have a octopus form. Good beats. I mean, I played to my out, and I played to the way that drew me the most cards to get to that. I guess the other thing I was not considering, that could have been a thing, was I could have gotten the Mechanist with the, if I had chosen the, what was it? Seismic Sense, like that would have maybe drawn me to that, but on the flip side, I actually just had no enchantments, or sorry, no non-creatures in hand to make that trigger. That's a tough one, but I mean, they had a good deck. Wan Shi Tong, obviously insane. I guess, knowing that, they definitely would have just cast Iroh, so I think that was a bad name. I don't think I ever would have named Wan Shi Tong, but maybe I should have. Unagi would have been interesting as well. Yeah. I feel like they're supposed to cast that in response. There's like, that's crazy that they didn't, by the way. Okay, so this hand, we are on the play. We have a Watery Grasp to answer their first aggressive threat, and then we have kind of nothing. If we draw a Swamp, then we get to do this stuff, but if we miss on that a couple turns, we kind of just don't do much. Okay, this hand seems great. Get rid of the Foggy Swamp Benders, the things we can cast. And they're a friendly opponent, it seems. Well, there is a world where Shu goes the distance. Okay, well, I'm going to attack. If he blocks, fine. If he doesn't, also fine. The Scry, sold out's perfect, actually. I mean, it would have been a really nice answer, but whatever, right? Obsessive Pursuit. And this does not answer that threat particularly quickly. Okay, well, sold out will be good to activate it on their token. They did hit their land, but they missed out on this land. Rather, they missed out on having the kill spell, because I think you definitely kill one of these two things if you do. This hand, I cannot return Merchant plus Plate, since I'm 1 mana shy. I mean, hopefully this is good enough. I have suspicions that it isn't. Yeah, black-white is the good list for this. Fair enough. Alright, so I think we sell this out. That way we can attack with the token. Oh, that's not a good sign. Trying to diversify my threats just a little bit. If they play one big thing, though, the black board wipe is a pretty good card. Turns out that card is good. And I guess I'll hold on to a land. I mean, maybe there's a world where I'm supposed to have played that, but I feel like they're going to play a good threat here. Yeah. I can kill the Kyoshi warrior. I can then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 with waterbending. So we don't have enough to play this and that. We would have needed 9. And then we were actually just 1 black source away too, because we need to do a few things. I mean, they will be able to put some counters on this and attack, but that is a risk, so... They would only gain 3. They do need to hit a land. I mean, they're going to draw 2 cards, so it seems likely that that happens, but... If that is their play, we have 8 damage, and they can gain 4? Okay. Okay, any creature kills them. That will do it. Got there. Nice. That's a good feeling. That was potentially a very spooky draw. Good old Day of Black Sun. That's a very good card, right? Just as good as Sozin is, Day of Black Sun might be better, but... We are on to our... what does it win? Third? Second win. So 2 wins, 1,500 gems for free. We turned effectively at the moment, we have turned a mythic ranking of top 1,200 or 1,250 or whatever it is into 1,500 gems. So that is nice. And the rolled only gets brighter from here. Each of these wins was worth 500. This win is now worth 1,500. So the pressure's on from here on out. They're all worth 1,500. Except this one, I think, just gets you the token. Nice. This hand has a Aang's Journey and a Fire Nation Engineer. Like, that is our game plan. To go Journey, Engineer, Waterbending Lesson into Lost Days. And I imagine with the land we get off Aang's Journey and the 3 cards we get off Lost Days, we'll have that on. Or, sorry, the 3 cards we get off Waterbending Lesson, we will get Lost Days by turn 5 for sure. Okay. I was just thinking about Zay. I was like, alright, I should probably play the island first. Just in case I go island. But that was not the case. And here we just go, really just get an island. And now I think it's interesting. I probably... No, that's a good one too. Ama is a secret technique that we will use later. So they've gone Blasting Jelly and a Fire Nation and Warship after playing Island, Plains, and a dual land. So they're definitely going for 5-color value. Knowing that, I think we just play Fire Nation Engineer and plan to attack next turn and put a counter on Professor Zay. Aang? Airbend my thing? Sure. And you get to attack me for 4? That is pretty good. Okay, that's a very powerful start. I think I'd rather double creature here. Though there is consideration for playing the Mechanist. The main consideration to that being I could then cast Lost Days on the Warship or something. But I think the chance that they hit their land drop next turn is too high to be mana inefficient here. So we're going to go like this and like that. Pass the turn. Hopefully I don't take more than 7. Hopefully they don't have a creature to follow it up with. This could be where a deck like this decides that they want to play the value route, but... and try to cast their good spells. Like, they've played 3 different colors of basics, which does indicate a little bit weaker of a deck, or they've just drawn their colors correctly. Yeah, if they just use a kill spell, trap on the 0-3, or the 2-3 rather, I think is acceptable. Obviously we don't block. And now if I draw land, well, we do get to kill Aang here, which is kind of nice. I think first I discard the Brawler to try draw land, so let's think about this for a quarter second longer. Hitting that 5th land isn't so critical. It would open up Lost Days. Alternatively, I could Mechanist plus cycle, or I could cycle the Crawler first and then... Or cycle the Crawler and then cast Mechanist. No, yeah, I think my game plan is to Hama next turn. So this turn I'm content to discard the Crawler. Oh, that's very good, actually. Does Interesting. Does that change it? I think it does. Yeah, I think we just play the Mechanist here. My hope is they probably just Blasting Jelly and make that same attack. But if they don't, because they did miss their land drop. Okay, so now I think we're just content to Hama. Ooh, get rid of a Ko? Yikes. That card is really good. Yeah. Oop, get out of here, Aang. Master P and Dow. We down to 6? That is a pretty good follow-up. Okay. I think we do Fire Nation Drill, kill the P and Dow. We will take that action. We will kill the scary bad man. And then I think then we just pass, because I want to chump with Hama, maybe. Definitely play our land, I think. Cycle Unagi is... Yep. That represents a game plan. I don't want to go to 2. I just think that kills me. Too many things kill me from 2. Like maybe they're splashing lightning strikes. Who knows? Looks like they are Esper, maybe? Or more Esper than anything else. The Professor is good, but does not... So Professor gets the Snare Trap, the Blasting Jelly, Waterbending Lesson, or they discard. I think I do want to chill. We have a very good game plan this turn. I think kind of regardless of what they do, we're going to Unagi. There's a chance we just lost days, though. I think we start off with... Well, we can't do that on their turn, or they can just activate it, so we just chill. They could counterspell me. That's true. That's fair enough. Oh, Sozin's pretty good too. Do they think they can get back a card right now? Sure, they discard a swamp. See what they draw. Let me hold this back as a potential trump blocker if we want. I think that makes more sense than any alternative. We are on very thin ice here. Aang plus Warship was able to get us down to 6 life. They now have an 0-3. They have a 1-1. We have a 0-3 and a 3-3. And then a 6-3 to their 4-4 that they cannot activate. But I can activate mine, so... What is this? Crew 2, and this is also Crew 2. Very fitting that they're both Fire Nation stuff. From a thematic point of view. Perhaps they're considering killing my Hama. I think I do play the 7th land. That might be weird, but I want to be able to cast Lost Days and then pay for Quench if they have a second one. Which they actually do on board with the Zerze. Cast an Aang, huh? Well, I can't stop that. They airbend my professor, maybe? What I think I'm going to do is allow this to happen. If I give them their turn, Aang gets to crew the warship, which is not ideal. Aang is a very powerful card. Sure. It gives them Aang a turn early, but I think that's fine. I don't love that to tap my mana either. Okay. So we go to 2 here. We get to kill Aang, Zay, and then probably the Corrupt Court Official, would be my guess. And then we get to play Zay. Though, honestly, that land might have been worth keeping. Yeah. I can attack them down to 3. I could play the Merchant, attack with Hama and the Fire Nation Drill. They chump the Hama. They take 6 down to 2. Obviously, none of that seems better than just going... they might take it. Frankly, it doesn't matter. They have Creature. We have to chump with Zay. Then we can have infinite chump with the Merchant of Many Hats, but... it's a tough one. Lost Days. They have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 11-ish, 12, 11 to 12 kind of duds, but a lot of good stuff still in their deck. And search. They have a Lost Days, which is good enough for them to be able to draw a card. I mean, this kind of forces them to use it, I guess. Or not. Like, that's fine, too. Going to 2. Then we get to play our Vindictive Warden, which threatens lethal on the upkeep. Okay. They need removal plus kill spell, or they're just dead. Agent of Treachery would be kind of annoying. And then we get Azula, they'd kill my Merchant of Many Hats, they'd get probably like an Aang's Journey is what I'd give them. Hell yeah, that's 1,500 gems. That was a full draft of value right there. Nice. Well, that's 3 wins. We're halfway to our goal. We're 3-1. Our deck is sweet. It's performed very well. I agree with all of my choices. The Swamp Bender actually has done more than I expected it to do. The Warden, I mean, that was a masterclass in why that was a thing that I was interested in. Now, the question is, do I want an Aang's Journey, or would I actually just rather this Crawler? Do they kind of do the same thing for me? Well, one's a spell for the Mechanist, which is not a 0. It gains me life, which is not a ton, but that is maybe a consideration. This does get an island in case I go a lot of swamps, and I get to still cast Mechanist or Azula off of it, so I stand by my decisions. Yeah, I stand by it. Alright, this hand, we are on the draw, and it kind of doesn't do much of anything. If these were like Swamp, I'd be considering keeping this, but Island does not give itself high confidence. Keep this. I think we just get rid of the attachments. It would be nice to discard Shu, draw some cards, but I think I'd rather play Shu on 2 and then Fire Nation Engineer on 3, and hope that that works out. Not unhappy about Enunagi. Black-white again. Okay. An island is not unwelcomed. Now the question will be, are they going to attack into Merchant? Will they plan to block it? Do they want to just get their scry out of the way? I think if they attack, we block and we trade with whatever resource. I think I'm more content of just getting that out of there. Airbending lesson. Well, that is a good bit of interaction. I think now I sit kind of okay. Can't say I love it. I mean, they spent their turn 3 to attack for 2. Okay. Well, so now I definitely don't play Professor, because I have a good turn 4. We get to go Professor into Merchant. And then hopefully we get to play these 5-drop rares. If we get to do that, I think we'll win. But if we can't, then it might be tough. This could be like a Kyoshi Warriors. 4 mana. Make a 3/3 and a 1/1. Could be a Corrupt Court Official. Now that's an interesting discard. It's a really interesting discard, actually. If I just draw a land, I still would have wanted to keep a land, but I think since our curve just turns out much worse, I'd probably discard this. I'm kind of on the fence about it. Okay. So we missed on the land. I think I will play Mechanist here then. Well, we're gonna get a little value out of the Piandao. Kind of just banking on black, white not having the most. Allies and lessons. I suppose that's equipment too. So them tanking means it's probably between two good cards, unfortunately. Well, if I draw a land, do the Rallier and the, yeah, that's going to be a tough to beat curve. So it definitely turns out that discarding the island was a mistake, but we still haven't even hit a source for a fifth one after that, so that's more emblematic of just needing to cast Professor sooner. Oh, June's a good card too. They got a lot of spice going on. I think they might want to pay the mana to sack the merchant or the court official or something like that. So that means that's at least 2 damage I cannot block next turn. Yeah, I mean, they got a very sweet deck. Absolutely. I think we just absolutely need to try to land here. That's unfortunate. That is very unfortunate. Hard to win games of Magic when you miss this many land drops. And if this is what ends my run, that's what ends my run. On the bright side, I have the Merchant to chump. It's quite good. Now they scry to the top to guarantee a hit. Yep. Yikes. Okay. Well, I think the window closed when I discarded that island. I think that was just too greedy. I'm going to make them play it out. If I draw land, I get to go land, sold out, exile. I mean, at this point, probably the flyer. And then if I go land after that, we get to go something else. I don't know. Yeah, we're just getting demolished in value. Like, maybe my out at this point is just to hope for Sozin, the Rise of Sozin. That's also very good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things die. That is a very good card. Unfortunately, I wasn't going to be able to waterbend 4 regardless, so... Yeah, wow. Wow. I mean, they still have a lot of things on their side of the battlefield, but this goes a long way. So there's a consideration for attacking with the Fire Nation Engineer. The question is, will I want to chump? I mean, I'm planning to block like this, and there's a chance that they don't attack. Instead, they do this and then don't attack for a turn. I think that's a welcomed sequence. The question will be, should I chump? I think the answer to that is probably not. They have 2, 3, assuming they get my thing, and then 7, so I probably just can't afford to take that damage. We are battling, man. We are, as much as we can, trying to stay alive. Now they're going to go make that play that I was describing. And at least this turn, we maybe only take 4. Well, that's a pretty good one, too. They have the mana to do it, which... That's rough, buddy, but... I don't think I cash in for life. Yeah, maybe I do. I think I want the card more than I want the... Okay. Well, we actually, I think, might be okay here, depending on their last 2 cards. I'm going to go down to 4. Lose 4 life from this guy. I guess Azula exiles maybe the Musician. And then I get to cast the Musician, make a 2/5. Alternatively, I can flash in the Unagi to chump, but... I think Azula ends up being better here. I think regardless, I get one of these 4 things, all of which I feel like I need to deal with. Obviously the Jailer least of all, but... I would give me, like, the dude and then maybe, like, the healer or something. Now, the question is, do I play the Wandering Musicians as it blocks the 4/4? I think the answer to that is no, but we do... Oh, I can't waterbend it. Right? Yeah, I discard the Unagi here for sure. And then we need to draw like land. Sozin? Seems like a possible out. I guess let's think about this for just a quarter second longer. I can cast 2 creatures, 2 flyers. Or not 2 flyers, but 2 creatures rather. 4 creatures. Blocks this, blocks that. If I attack, I can cast... Long Fang is a good one too. What else do I have? That's a good draw. What if I draw a Hama? Hama, Airbending Lesson, flicker the Hama. Can mill them a lot. That's not a terrible like long-term game plan. I think for us right now, we're dealing with lethal on board. Like we are just dead if we don't do something. That said, I have something to do, which leaves me with 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 4 of my mana spent. And then I can play attack and play June. That leaves me with what, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2 blockers for 1, 2 attackers, and then I take block. So then, yeah. Knowing all of this, my line is simple. I have to discard something here. And I have to kind of draw runner. And I think if I do draw runner, the only way I win now is by having a good follow-up. So we do have to draw land into Rise of Sozin. And we do get another hit. Didn't get there. Bummer. Like, I could, like, no, I think I did the math and I was just dead if I mean, I guess I could have drawn a land as a part of that equation. Maybe I should have considered that branching path, because that maybe has me going down to playing this, take 3, take 2. Because it's like, well, I had to tap that to even have that as an option. Dang. Well, this was certainly a fun little deck. I like Azula, Cunning Usurper, Rise of Sozin certainly got me out of a pickle here or there. Yeah. I think the deck was lacking just a little bit on the early game. And in a game like that, that certainly shows its merit. I will say, though, holy hell. That was very good, that game. That was like, that gave me remotely a shot. Like, I was just super dead that turn if I didn't have this card specifically. The other question was, should I have trumped the Yandao that one turn and avoided the draw card? In hindsight, I think the answer was yes. But I thought I had like a little bit more time. And I thought I might need to dig a little bit deeper. Yeah. Well, clearly mistakes were made that game. We clawed our way back. We did our best to put ourselves in a chance of winning still. And kind of looking back at this deck, I think I'm fairly happy with how it played out. Kind of hit my game plan fairly successfully. I think maybe I could have not played the Ying's Journey. I'm still kind of torn on that one. But you know what? For literally, what was it? Basically free. I mean, I spent a lot of time to earn the qualifier play-in points. They've been sitting in my account for a long time. I got 3,000 gems, and that is nothing to snuff at. Anyways, hope you had fun. This was certainly an interesting little event. I might do another one. We'll see. I'm busy the rest of the day today. And then tomorrow, it's like questionable. This event seems to be tomorrow morning, or tomorrow about this time. What else is there to say? I think the day before the tournament next weekend, there is another qualifier if I want to, which I might. We'll see. I like playing competitive Magic, and hopefully this was an interesting bit of gameplay. I think we had a fun deck. I don't think I piloted it to its fullest potential, but hey, 3,000 gems is 3,000 gems. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, take care. I'll catch you on the next one.